Hey there, welcome to the latest episode of Hiker Homily. And this time, what I'm talking about is a little something I call Hiker Know Thyself. I'm kind of stealing a little phrase that I believe is an ancient Greek phrase of physician heal thyself. Hiker Know Thyself. What the heck do I mean by that? Well, I think I've talked about in other hiker homilies and videos and things like that. And as I was shown very clearly on my first attempt of the Pacific Crest Trail, or a section of the Pacific Crest Trail, hiking is indeed as much mental as it is physical. And one of the things that can really knock people off the trail is you not knowing yourself both mentally and physically. But especially this time I'm talking about physically. The difference between that pain being a warning sign, because as we all know, pain is your body's way of warning you there's a problem, and it gets your attention, right? And you're supposed to pay attention to those warning signs because ignoring it could mean a worse problem is developing and things like that. But sometimes, especially youngsters, when you get to be up in my age, so this is a topic that's semi for the older hikers, but you young hikers may learn a lesson here too. You're going to have aches and pains no matter what you do. I mean, I just worked in my backyard working on building the frame of a chicken run with my wife and trimming some trees and stuff like that, and I have aches and pains. Now, I know I'm okay. I just know that at my age, reaching up and sawing limbs and things like that and all that kind of movement, I'm going to be sore afterwards. It's just how it is. The next day or two, I'm going to feel that. That's just part of life when you get up into these years. And some people, you don't have to be up in these years. You know, it'll happen to you too. So you have to know the difference when you're out on the trail between, is that pain in my knee, that little twinge I'm feeling, is that the start of a serious injury that I have to be aware of and be careful of, and maybe I need a day or two off the trail because that's not normal? Or is that, oh yeah, that pain in my knee, that's something I've had for the past 2 years, whether I'm hiking or not, and that's just the way it is. That's my knee. I'll take a little aspirin and I'll move on. It's important to know yourself and the little pains, and it's aside from the knee thing, because I haven't had that kind of issue, fortunately. I do have a past knee injury from my past career, but it hasn't flared up on me at all hiking. I've had a single problem with it hiking. I have had a little issue with an old back injury, but the thing that I do get, no matter, and a lot of people I know, you're going to jump right out there, you just need to stretch more. That's what you need to do. I have my medical degree from sit-on-my-ass university, but the School of Hard Knocks gave me my degree, and you need to stretch more. But no, I assure you, I am one of those ones that, yes, stretching's important. I'm actually going to do a hiker homily on important stretchers for hikers and stuff. I always stretch before I get out on a path. Even if it's just going to be a casual walk, I will be stretching myself and stuff. But no matter how much I stretch, once I get out there, after about a half mile, I start to feel like a fatigue ache in not really my Achilles, but up around my calf area, back of my leg. And at first that started to worry me when I was trying to train and get some miles in and stuff. I'm like, man, what am I doing here? And stuff like that. But I learned very quickly that it starts up after about a half mile and gives me little twinges and bugs me for a short time. It's not excruciating pain. It's just a little ache that's just there. It's noticeable, but it's not horrible. But after I've passed a little bit over the mile mark, it's gone. Goes away. So something there, no matter how I stretch, the different types, I've tried different types of stretches and all the stuff for all of you from Hard Knock University, School of Life, Medical School. I've tried all kinds of different types of stretches and things like that, and it just happens. It's just something my body has decided to do. It's almost like there's something in my body saying, hey, let's see if he really wants to walk today. All right, start the pain. Give him a little ache down there in the lake, in the back of the calf. All right, so we've been doing it for about a half mile. He's still walking. I guess we're not going to get out of this one. And it just goes away. My mind decides, all right, we're not going to stop him. He's going to keep walking. And all of a sudden, that ache is gone. And it's not a problem for the rest of the day. Whether I do another mile and a half, whether I do another 5 miles, for a total of 6 or 7 that day, that ache does not come back. Yeah, it's just bizarre. It's just something that I know now is part of me. That's what happens. Regardless of how much I stretch or the ways I stretch, that's just something I get, and then it goes away after. So I can't let, that's the thing, is a lot of people, there are people out there who are going to feel that, and oh my God, I'm injuring myself, I have to stop. I'm stopping, I'm quitting. I need to get off. I need to get off the trail. I'm going to stop. Okay? You got to know the difference between what could be a developing injury, which could be serious, especially if you're out in the backcountry. This is not a normal pain in my knee. I've never felt that before, and it seems to be getting worse. Okay, that's when you start thinking about, how am I going to get off this trail, and how am I going to, maybe I'll lean on my trekking poles more and find a way off the trail back to the vehicle, or if I have a support team, call them for help or whatever, things like that. The difference between that and, oh yeah, I know what that pain is. That's just something I got. I'll take a little aspirin for it. It's not a serious injury. It's not getting worse. That's just something I deal with. And we all have those kinds of, most of us, I won't say we all, most of us have those kinds of aches and pains that we do have to watch out for, and things like that. So that's the big thing. The gist of that I'm trying to get across is, know thyself. Don't let those little aches and pains that we humans just come up with, don't let that get you off the trail. And that's the other thing too, is you have to know the difference between muscle use, aches, lactic acid, things like that, and an actual injury. If you go out and you're trying to through hike, in day 1 you pushed yourself a little hard, you were aiming for 7 miles, you ended up doing 10 because you were all excited and feeling good and going out there, and everything's great, and I fall asleep in my sleeping bag, I'm in my tent, yay, I crushed the first day, I'm awesome. You wake up in the morning, you're like, your feet are just killing you. Oh my God, it's plantar fasciitis, or I've destroyed the muscles, or I'll never play piano with my feet again, or all those kinds of problems that you just runs through your head. Anxiety feeds on that kind of thing, and that's one of the things that got me off the PCT the first time I tried to do the first 100-mile section. I had a legitimate back injury go out on me that was very painful. I had a friend pick me up, take me back to this place, took care of me, let me hang out for a while. Once the back was feeling better, I could have gotten back on the trail, but by the time the couple of days had gone by and my back was feeling better, the anxiety and the issues had gotten into my head, and that was it. What if this happened out in such and such, in a place where my friend Jesse couldn't pick me up? What if I was 30 miles out in some ravine somewhere and I'm stuck, I couldn't get out? I'm going to have to push my emergency button, have search and rescue endanger themselves to come get my dumb ass. Things like that. So, yeah, it's that kind of thing. You have to know the aches and pains in your body, because not only is that going to help you prevent yourself from hurting yourself worse, because you know the difference between, this is an injury that I'm making worse, and this is just an ache that I have all the time, a little pain I have all the time. Or this is me having worked my muscles a lot. And so, yeah, that's why that sore is. The best cure for that is to exercise them, because that gets the lactic acid out of my muscles and things like that. For those of you who didn't know that, they tell that to athletes all the time too. But yeah, so you know the difference between those things, because knowing that helps soothe your mind from the anxiety. And you won't believe how powerful your brain is. Your brain will actually make you feel other pains or have little panic things, because it doesn't know the difference between this. You need to know. Knowing makes you feel better, soothes that anxiety, and so your brain's not messing with you and making things even worse, which is some of the things that get you off the trail. All right, so yeah, and it's, just like I was saying, when we did the 20-mile hike with the scouts 20 miles in one day. The next couple of days, I was hurting. And it was more than just, oh, this is just a little ache and pain. No, it hurt to walk. But I knew it wasn't an injury hurt and that I had to get up and walk around, so I did. Despite the fact that it was hurting a little bit. And if you're on a long distance through hike, you're going to have to do that. You're going to do whatever you do for a day. Between 10, 20 miles, depends on kind of hiker you are. Maybe less, but you are going to be sore the next day, and it's going to hurt to take steps. But the more you'll find, the more steps you take, the better it all feels, because things loosen up, because lactic acid is built up in those muscles, and that hurts. And when you're building muscle, you're tearing them a little bit, and then the repair helps build that muscle stronger, things like that. So more exercise is actually a cure for that, because that works the lactic acid out of those muscles and things like that if you do a little bit more exercising. So you have to know the difference, okay, between a pain that if you work it too much, it's going to create more of a problem and you're going to maybe permanently injure yourself, and then that'll be it. Or, okay, this is a soreness from exertion, or it's just the regular soreness I always have every day, whether I exercise or not. That particular thing hurts. Just move on. Okay, know the difference. So, hiker, know thyself. Any comments? Any experiences you want to share? Anything like that? As usual, hikingforhealthca@gmail.com, or the comments down below. Comments where I post this on other social media, Instagram, all that kind of fun stuff. And other than that, that is the newest hiker homily. I hope you maybe got something to think about, maybe gleaned a little information from that, learned a little bit. Who knows? If nothing else, you learned that I have an ache in my calves for the first, after the first half mile between the first full mile. So, knowledge is power. You just know that now. It's amazing. That's in your brain now. Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, as always, for watching. I appreciate it. I try to have fun with this channel. That's the whole thing. If you're not having fun with something, why are you doing it? That goes with hiking, YouTubing, gaming, whatever the heck you're into. If you're not having fun doing it, why the heck are you doing it? Just cut it out. Find something else. So, other than that, thanks very much. I will catch you later.